Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the poor decisions made by the narcissist. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the poor decisions that are frequently made by the narcissist, these are many, and the decisions will begin to unravel the life of the narcissist, specifically once you have exited that relationship. Now, again, if you were discarded or if you ended it yourself, meaning the relationship, my heart goes out to you, because if you were in a narcissistic relationship for 1 minute, it is 1 minute too long. Now you understand, or you are acquiring the wisdom on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You're learning, you're growing, you're becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered, and you are making good decisions. Back when you were in that relationship with the toxic narcissist, what they tried to do is they wanted to use you as a rudder on a ship to give them direction, to elevate them, to get them from point A to point B using all of your resources. I share this in almost every video I create recently. Your resources included time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, relationships, your health, your clarity, your job. They wanted to take whatever they could and more. And they wanted to use you as the fuel that would propel them on that ship on the ocean from one destination to the next. We now know that the narcissistic abusive cycle, it goes around and around in a loop. And the one common denominator, the one constant is, in fact, the narcissist. You were in that relationship for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship, and you were the fuel that provided the energy for the narcissist. The narcissist at their core, there is nothing to them. There's no substance, there's no quality of them. What they want to do is mimic back to other people what they've learned from you or from other relationships, because there's no originality in these people. What they do is they steal people's ideas. They steal people's time and energy and so much more. Money, empathy, relationships. But what the narcissist doesn't realize is that you were the one who was making all the proper decisions when you were in that relationship. Meaning, you were the one that was telling them, hey, I think it's going to be a blizzard out tomorrow. Maybe you want to put on your snowshoes. Or B, maybe you should pay your bill on time. Or C, let me teach you how to write a check. Or D, hey, I think it's good if you are on time to pick up the kids instead of being late all the time. You see, you were essentially guiding them through that relationship. You were telling them what acceptable behaviors were and what unacceptable behaviors weren't. Now, again, you weren't taught Narcissism 101 in school. So you didn't know that these people existed. You probably thought that the narcissist was just somebody who looked at themselves in the mirror a little too often. That's just a tiny, tiny microcosm of who these people are. The narcissist believes that they're smarter than you. They believe that they are better looking than you. They believe that they can manipulate you whenever they want to. And once you're in these relationships, they believe that they own you for life. Yes, they do. Now, the truth is they don't own you. They never have and they never will. Did they capture you and place you in the narcissistic fog? Yes, they did. Were you in the spin cycle of emotions? Yes, you were. Did you know what was going on? You didn't, because you weren't taught this in school. But what you did do, excuse me, is you kept on working for the narcissist. You kept on trying to get back to that euphoric / love bomb stage. And you never could quite get back there because that was all a mirage. It was what the narcissist had done to get you to enter that relationship. They were assimilating themselves with you. They were acting like they were like-minded. They were learning about you, your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations. And at one point they figured out this person, which turned out to be you, they have a real good direction in life. They know where they're going, they know what they want, and they know what they, perhaps maybe they didn't know what they didn't want, but what they did know is, let's say that you wanted to raise a family, or you wanted to get married, or you wanted to build a business, or you wanted to start something. Well, the narcissist would figure this out, and then they would act like they were in the same boat with you, doing the same thing, or they would do it with you. But at the end of the day, remember, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, you were the fuel that catapulted the narcissist from point A to point B in their life. Now again, the term narcissistic supply is what is prevalent, and fuel or narcissistic supply can be interchangeable, but that's what you were. Now to me, you are a beautiful, bright, shining light. You shine higher than the sun, the moon, and the stars, and you've elevated or ascended higher than you even thought was fathomable once you've healed or once you're well on the healing path. But your decisions have always been good. They've always been thought out. You have done the best you could do to this point in time. And the narcissist was the one who was kept on making poor decisions, specifically post-relationship. Now, you may throw a caveat in there and say, well, wait a minute, Andrew, I entered the relationship with the narcissist. That wasn't a good decision, was it? Well, no, it wasn't. But the thing is, you weren't taught Narcissism 101 in school, so you were manipulated. This was not your fault. You did not know that some people did not have the ability to love. You did not know that other people have no empathy. You didn't know that somebody could actually lie to you continuously over and over and over again. You didn't know that somebody could gaslight you, triangulate you, give you the silent treatment, smear your name, etc. These are all the tactics and the techniques of the narcissist. You didn't know those things back then. So you to enter that relationship with the narcissist, you couldn't have known. There was only one way to find out, and that was to enter the relationship. And back then, you did not have boundaries. You may have even been a people pleaser or a yes person, and you certainly couldn't say no, the strongest word in the English language. And remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. That is the narcissist kryptonite. They don't want to hear the word no. But the poor decisions of the narcissist, they were littered all throughout that relationship. Think about how many times that they would drive in get in the car and drive in the middle of the night, or after the stores were closed, claiming that they had to get milk or groceries or get something super late at night. Well, why would they be doing that? Well, number one, they were probably grooming a new source of supply, or they needed to regulate themselves somehow by getting out and just screaming at the top of their lungs, or who knows what they were doing. Maybe they just parked the car down the street and were on social media for 3 or 4 hours on one of their smartphones. We will never know where the narcissist was when we weren't with them. We need to understand that. And many times we will never know where the narcissist was when we were with them, because were they physically with us? Sure. Were they mentally checked out? Almost every single time. Because whenever they got what they wanted, they didn't want it. And when they didn't have what they wanted, they worked to get it. And again, once they got what they wanted, they would just completely disregard it or devalue it. That's the narcissistic relationship in a nutshell. But the poor decisions of the narcissist will continue to go on and on and on post-relationship with you, meaning once you've exited that relationship, however you did, the narcissist's life is not going to go swimmingly. It's not going to go high like yours will. Maybe they have a new supply that has deep pockets. Maybe they have a new supply that provides a roof or provides stability for them for a period of time. But keep in mind what I shared, for a period of time. The new supply is not living their best life. The narcissist is abusing them day in and day out, just like you are being abused. Or the new supply could be the narcissist themselves, or maybe even somebody worse. But what is not happening as these people, i.e. the narcissist, age, they do not make better decisions. They make very, very uncalculated, poor decisions that actually cause them harm, and they're detrimental to their lives. Why I would say that is, think about what the aging narcissist is. Not only is the aging narcissist not a pretty sight to see, but it is someone who has now aged, and all of the accumulation or the cumulative poor decisions that they've made to that point in time are beginning to catch up with them. That's when their own children want nothing to do with them. That's when their former spouses have blocked them. That's when people in their religious organizations or communities or hobby groups want nothing to do with them. That's when people at work don't invite them to certain parties, etc. Because people are more and more in tune with the energy of other individuals. Now again, energy is a real thing, whether you believe it or not. Energy exists, and I'm talking emotional, spiritual energy. I'm not talking just about physical energy. And the connection with you and the narcissist, remember there are 4 ties: the emotional tie, the financial tie, the physical tie, and the spiritual tie. They all must be broken to attain and to reach the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference. But the energy with the narcissistic person and that connection with you, that is something that you can feel and you can sense it. Think about this: when you were out of the relationship, or perhaps even when you were in it, if things were going too well and it was nice and calm and you were actually putting your guard down and you were saying, wow, I just had a good couple days, maybe even a good weekend. This is what it's supposed to be about. That's great. What would happen? Boom, you're going to get triangulated, or boom, you're going to get thrown under the bus, or you're going to be blamed for something, because the narcissist cannot have stability. They cannot have regularity. They cannot have commonality. What they want to do is disrupt people's energy. And every kind of energy that they can disrupt, they will attempt to do it. And they will succeed until they can't. But these are the poor decisions of the narcissist, because all of the things the narcissist has done in their life, not only to you, but to other people, they come back to roost in the narcissist's tiny little pea brain. every single night. Now, do they sit around thinking about this? Absolutely not. But when they're comparing supply sources and they compare them to you, because that's what they will do for the rest of their life, and the current supply source or the new supply is not cutting it, they're not doing even 1/100th of what you did, then they're going to be saying, wait, I really had something good in that person and I blew it up. Oh, that's what I do. And you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm going to discard this new supply and get someone who's going to be even better than them, but they'll never be as good as you were. Now, again, you are not a fuel source. That's how the narcissist sees you, though. They don't look at you as a beautiful, bright, shining light. They don't look at you as a loving, caring, kind, empathetic human being. They looked, past tense, they looked at you as somebody to take advantage of, somebody to manipulate, somebody to hoodwink and trick and trap and keep stuck in that narcissistic fog. And they did accomplish that. But then again, once they ended that relationship, if they did, again, my heart goes out to you, what did? They took you for granted. They thought they finished you off. They thought you would never put yourself back together. They never thought you would heal. They never thought you would see behind the mask. And they continue to make poor decisions. The narcissist believes that they are immune to the law. They are immune to regulations and to rules and to jurisdictions and to courts and everything else. They believe that they write their own rules. That's why so frequently, tell me if you've heard this in the past, the narcissist would say something like this to you. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. You don't own me. I'll do whatever I want to do. Not even my mom or not even my brother, sister, or past relationships could tell me what to do. I'll do whatever I want to do. That's a petulant child in an adult body. And what that person is doing is they're telling you flat out, or they were telling you flat out, that you can't do anything to benefit them because they're a sinking ship. And they will continue to make poorer and poorer decisions, and there's nothing you could do about it. Now, again, post-relationship, there are times and there are periods of healing when people who have healed or who are healing, I should say, not have healed, who are healing, they want to help the narcissist out because they feel sorry for them, or they could still help them, or the narcissist is playing the victim card, or they just don't want to quit on them, etc. I understand all of that, but what you need to understand is it doesn't matter what you did when you were in the relationship. It would never be good enough. And post-relationship, when you're healing, thinking about the narcissist that you could help them or change them or improve them, that's never going to happen. It will never happen. It didn't happen when you were in the relationship. Why would you think it would happen post-relationship? It won't. Because the narcissist will continue to shoot themselves in the foot. They will continue to blow up relationships. They will continue to blame other people. They will continue to keep score of what some people have and how much they have and what they should have and what they shouldn't have. They will always be looking for the next new opportunity. They will always be looking over the shoulder for the next new supply. They will always be looking in the skeletons of the closet of all the lives that they've crushed and devastated. You see, this is what the narcissist does. It's what they know. They know one speed, which is full speed ahead. That's why when you're in the relationship, there are times that you would have said, you know, if only the narcissist had laid off the gas a little bit, maybe I still would have been in that relationship. Well, that probably is true. But guess what? It just would have dragged out the relationship longer and you would have experienced more toxicity. So whenever that relationship ended, that's when it was supposed to end. However that relationship ended, that's how it was supposed to end. Tough pills to swallow, but it's real. You see, you can't change the past. You can't predict the future. You need to live in the present moment, the here and the now. And that is what the narcissist doesn't do. What the narcissist does do is they look for the next new opportunity. They look for the next new shiny object. They're always comparing. They're always in competition. They're always keeping score. And they will always, and I mean always, make poor decisions. Remember in the beginning of the video, I shared with you that you were the engine or you were the fuel that kept that boat going and got the narcissist from point A to point B. Well, that's true. That's what you were. That's an analogy I just created. And I've used similar ones in the past, but that's what you were. Post-relationship, when you're healing, all that fuel and all that energy that you put into the narcissistic relationship, it goes back into you. And that's when you heal. That's when you self-isolate. That's when you stay in the cocoon of boundaries. That's when you put yourself back together. That's when you stop giving the narcissist chances. That's when you go no contact and you block these people, etc. That's when you remove enablers, flying monkeys, and anybody associated with the narcissist. That's when you begin to do things that benefit you that do not include toxicity specifically from the narcissist or any toxic person that perhaps could be in your life. This is how it starts. It starts by you identifying what narcissism is, by you going down the rabbit hole of education and exploration, by realizing and wrapping your head around what the definitions in the glossary on the narcissistic abusive cycle are. Example, learning what triangulation is, learning what projection is, the smear campaign, learning what blocking is, learning what no contact is, etc. When you learn all these things and you couple your real life experience with the terms, that equals wisdom. Wisdom is a newfound superpower in your life that if you haven't figured out by now, you will eventually, as long as you continue on the healing path moving forward and leaving the narcissist smaller and smaller in the rearview mirror. You see, all of that energy, like I shared, it was going into the narcissistic relationship. It was going into the narcissist to the betterment of the narcissist and to the detriment of you. And when all that energy is pulled back and it goes back into you, anything is possible. You can take a class, teach a class, read a book, write a book. You can travel the world. You can fall in love again. You can create new friendships. You can do whatever you need to do. Create a business. You can just be if you want to. You can sleep in till 12 o'clock in the morning. You can stay up till 1 o'clock in the evening, whatever the time frames are. You can do whatever you want to, but you're going to do it on your time. You see, you're no longer on the clock of the narcissist. You're no longer punching a clock, logging in and logging out. And even when you're logged out, you're supposed to be logged in, and you're not getting paid a dime for it, because that's what you were doing when you're in the relationship. You were the unpaid helper. You were the walk-in apology. You were the sounding board. You were the person who was regulating the narcissist when they couldn't regulate themselves. And despite the fact the narcissist kept making poorer and poorer decisions and showing you that mask slipping more and more and more, and despite the fact you didn't have the wisdom on the cycle, that is the narcissistic abusive cycle, you continue to give to a fault, and you continue to try and help them and do the best you could to maintain that relationship. Well, that's what you were supposed to do. Until when? That's right, until you're not. And that's when the relationship ended. Again, these relationships usually end with a thud, a crash, and a bang. They come out of left field, and they will disrupt your life for a long period of time until you get the wisdom and find that needle in a haystack, and you practice radical acceptance, and you understand how important and valuable you are, and that the narcissist never cared about you. They didn't love you. They didn't care one bit about you other than what you provided. That's why when the money's gone, so is the narcissist. That's why when the relationships are blown up, so is the narcissist. That's why when the smear campaign is kicked in full gear, that's usually when people are discarded. And that's why the narcissist will continue in that loop of destruction, misery, and misdirection as long as they exist and as long as they're gallivanting the globe. This is what they do. That's why you must go no contact, if not now, when. And understand something, post-relationship, I can assure you, if you've healed or you are well on the healing path, you know what I'm talking about. Your energy has returned, your clarity has returned, your mindset has returned, the way you look at the world has completely shifted in a great direction, and a very powerful direction, because you have either become the educated empath or you are about to, but you see the world through a brand new different set of eyes that you never thought was possible. This is how you can sense people's energy in a second. It's when you can see toxicity from a mile away. It's when the phone can ring, or you can get a text and you can look at the phone or the text and say, no, I'm not going to answer it. Don't need to, don't want to, don't need to have somebody blow up my day. This is the path. This is the abundance. This is where the doors of possibility will open up for you. This is where the doors of opportunity will be presented to you. And this is where the doors of abundance will be kicked wide open. But none of those doors will ever be open as long as you're in the narcissistic relationship, or as long as you're still connected to them. Once you heal and you understand that you are the priority, and that the narcissists did their best to take you down for the count, but they failed, and they failed miserably, and you need to leave them in the past, and you need to take the lifelong learning lessons from the past and apply them to the present day. Once you wrap your head around those things, then you realize that you should be very fortunate and grateful that you're out of the relationship, and that you're living in an abundant and a beautiful and an empathetic and kind and fulfilled life, because that's the path. That's what so many of us are doing, and it took a lot of time and effort and a mountain of work for us to get to where we are, but we are where we are, which is at the pinnacle of indifference. And my hope is you're either there or you are working towards getting there. Now, understand this before I close the video. The narcissist will continue to self-implode. They will continue to self-detonate. They will continue to blow up anybody's life that they can. And they will continue to be envious and jealous and hollow and shallow and cowards and bullies. You can't change any of that. There's nothing you can do to change these people who they are. Just like they can't steal your empathy and your love and your abundance from you. They could take it for a period of time, but the cream always rises to the top, and you will always go back to your high vibrational natural state, just like the narcissist will always stay down in that low vibrational quagmire state where they exist. That's where they are, that's where they belong, and they know that, and they try to capture your energy for a period of time, and they did. But again, the narcissist will continue to make poor decisions over and over and over again. The reason why is because they don't appreciate what they ever had. They don't respect human beings. They look down on people. They want to take advantage of people, and they never ever think that people are going to be wise enough or smart enough or strong enough to figure them out. That's the conundrum. That's why the narcissist is destined and doomed to a life of epic proportional failures. Everyone, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful and chilly Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And understand, the narcissist will continue to make poor decisions. They made poor decisions long before you met them. They're making poor decisions right now. They will self-implode. They will always believe that they're above the law. They will always believe they're smarter. They will always believe that they know more than anybody else and that no one can tell them what to do. Or the narcissist is weak. They're a weakling. They're weak mentally. They're weak emotionally. They're weak every way possible. The thing with these people is they want to have you believing that you're the weak one and that you can't live without them and that they're so powerful and you need them. That's not the truth. The truth is these people are absolutely toxic and they need to stay away from you as far as possible, and you need to go no contact and block them because you make proper decisions. And one of the best decisions you ever made is to get the wisdom, to acquire the wisdom, and to put your mindset to work for you and to heal and to focus on what you can control, to drown the narcissist out and let them do whatever they're going to do, and to insulate and protect yourself and to elevate and ascend and become awakened and aware. That was a great decision. Remember this before I close the video. Not everybody gets the wisdom. You did. You owe it to yourself to really, really take this seriously. This is your life. And the narcissist, they will always, and I mean always, make poor decisions. If there's no engine driving the narcissist, they don't know what to do. I love you all. God bless you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.